Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another video here in the ghost town of Beaverton, Oregon. For obvious reasons. You guys can't tell right now, but this morning it snowed, and so I am out here in the wet. And today we are going to be talking about, do you really need ABS? I'm going to be doing some emergency braking practice today, but I would also like your guys' opinion of this matter down in the comments below. So let's go ahead, get to an empty parking lot where we can safely do this, and then we will be off into the video. So most of the time when I ask someone or when I research if you need ABS on your motorcycle, the answer is no. And a lot of people say no because they tell the person who's asking the question they should be able to learn how to brake efficiently and correctly without ABS because it is a good skill to have. And I definitely agree with that. Some people say, yeah, you definitely should have ABS on your motorcycle because it is a great feature to have, because you never know how you may react in a dire situation where you need to slam on the brakes. The other side to that is, of course, you can train yourself to gradually grab the front brake and train yourself to basically get some good traction while you're braking, not lock up the front or rear wheel to avoid a crash. And again, those are both good reasons. So of course, this is my bike here, 2018 KLX 250. Of course with a big bore, but that isn't as important for this video because we are talking about the brakes. KLX 250 does not come with ABS, and it comes with these Dunlop 605 dual sport tires from the factory, which is what I am currently running on. And if you guys know anything about wet roads or knobbies, you know that they usually do not go well together. I'll go ahead and play a clip for you right now that I've shown you guys many times before. So as you can see there, I locked up the rear wheel for sure, but I felt okay with that because I've ridden off-road a little bit, so I kind of am used to that feeling. But I definitely think I locked up the front there, and that was a little sketchy because the bike just wasn't stopping. And in that situation, from what I remember, I didn't really want to go any harder because I really hadn't tested the limits of emergency braking, and I didn't want to lock up the front. So my out at that point was to change into the other lane, so I didn't go into the back of that car. Again, that is another reason for not having ABS, is people say, well, if you have good spatial awareness and look ahead in traffic and all that, you should be able to see hazards or potential hazards coming up, and therefore you should have an out where you may not have to brake so hard that you would have to get into ABS if you had it. So now I am making this video right now because if you guys saw a few videos ago, I'm looking for another build for the channel, and one of the criteria that was kind of determining what bike to build was it having ABS or not. But this guy thinks I'm following him. Hey, how's it going, Goose? I would like to have ABS because here in the Northwest we do get a lot of wet weather, and about 3/4 of the year the roads are wet, and it would just be nice to have that confidence to be able to get on the brakes without them locking up. Of course, you do get a little bit of a weird feeling with the brakes, and the lever and the brake pedal it pulses when you get into ABS. But if I did have ABS on my next build, I said this before, but I would install a switch where I could turn it off because, you know, it is fun to be able to go and lock up the rear wheel. And of course, like I said in the beginning of this video, I would like to be able to learn to brake efficiently without ABS. I feel like it's a good skill to have, and I don't know. When I drive my car, I feel in tune with the car, threshold braking, losing traction when the rear end steps out, all that stuff. Because I've been around car stuff a lot longer than I have with motorcycle stuff. So motorcycle control is something I need to practice. But let's go ahead here and try and practice some emergency braking. So, started to lock up the rear there, as you guys saw. Didn't really grab the clutch, and I didn't really get too hard on the front brakes. Let's go ahead and try that again. So there, I did not lock the front wheel up at all, and that nice progressive braking, as the forks compressed, we got more and more weight on that front wheel. Therefore, the front wheel not locking up, and we were able to stop rather quickly, 30 miles an hour. So let's go ahead, go here, where it's a little bit wet, do it again. So again, didn't lock up the front wheel. We were only going probably about 20 to 25 miles an hour, which is what they have you do for your motorcycle testing here in Oregon. Actually, I think it's 15 miles an hour. So again, another hard stop. My goal is to stop before I get into this cross intersection if this were an active parking lot. I did lock up the rear wheel. That's okay. Like I said, I'm pretty used to that. Another situation here is, of course, the KLX has knobbies on it. And with the knobbies, like I said, they do like to lock up a bit, or they tend to lock up a bit more than a good set of road tires do in the wet. So my next build would be a little bit more road focused, but of course I don't like limiting myself to the streets here. As you guys can see, whether that just be hopping curbs or finding these little patches to play in here. Maybe you have to run over a curb, but it would have some better road oriented tires. So again, that's another factor that goes into the decision of whether or not you want ABS on your motorcycle, because with some good road tires, as you guys can see here, stopping from 30 miles an hour with the KLX, I'm not locking up the front wheel. So with even better road tires, I think you could probably get on the brakes a lot harder without worrying about the front washing out on you. Now, of course, most of you guys probably know this because you guys are motorcycle riders and have taken your tests, but when you're braking, you want to make sure that the bike is upright and in a straight line. You don't really want to brake in a corner. There is trail braking, but you don't want to grab the front brake too hard because you can wash out, which I have done on the KLX in my neighborhood, and I hit a manhole cover, which is basically like ice. So that brings, let's go ahead and get out of this parking lot, move to another one while I am talking about my ideas here. So that brings up another point: manhole covers, wet lines. With ABS, you can kind of mitigate the wheel locking up when you hit those. So therefore, when you get over that wet line, manhole cover, the wheel will start spinning again if you have ABS. If you don't have ABS, that wheel may just stay locked up. Therefore, you may end up washing out because of the wet paint line. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is the ABS kind of takes that surprise element out of the wheel locking up if you end up locking up the wheel because of wet paint or grass clippings, even manhole covers, whatever it may be. So if you haven't already, go down in the comments, give me your opinion on ABS. I wanted to make this video, a dedicated video to ABS. I know it's come up in the comments before, but I definitely want to get some I guess, well thought out opinions on ABS, because like I said, it is a factor that is going into my decision for the next bike build. And with that, I will be making one last video, a speak now or forever hold your peace, for the next bike build on the channel. But as of right now, it looks like the Z400 and the FZ07 ideas are in the lead, and there's one other idea that I'm going to add for the speak now or forever hold your peace video. And I think that idea you guys are really going to like, because it's kind of a do-it-all bike for purpose I need. But again, if I go with a bike without ABS, that opens up a lot more options that are lower in cost, because a lot of bikes that are over 600cc with ABS are more expensive and a little bit outside my budget. But bikes without ABS, like I said, with more road-oriented tires, some more road-oriented build, they don't have ABS and they are a little bit lower of a cost. Ooh, Charger RT, bringing back memories when I had mine, hearing that Hemi. Ooh, they're going for a race there. Yes, I'm here, minivan. Please don't run into me. Alright, we're almost to our next parking lot here where we can practice a little bit more emergency braking. So I don't know, like I said, I definitely need some more practice with emergency braking, because I don't really ride a lot in the wet. And on the highway, it just seems like it'd be harder to kind of pedal the brakes to make sure they don't lock up from slowing down at speeds at like 60, 70 miles an hour if I need to. So that's why I think ABS would be kind of handy. But maybe I just need to stop being a wuss and practice some more and not worry about whether or not the bike has ABS. And brake. Wow. You got some good braking force there. I'm starting to see that I can get on the brakes a little bit harder here in the wet with the front brake. Just got to trust the bike a little bit more. I think I should probably take the advanced rider training course that Team Oregon offers here. That would be a good idea. And then maybe go into a track, like I said. Alright, let's do one more. Ooh. Got a lot of rear tire sliding action there. Alright, so I'm definitely starting to feel a little bit more confident here with the front brake. The only thing I worry about, like I said, is probably wet paint lines and manhole covers. But then again, that goes back to the argument that you should be aware and have good spatial awareness, look ahead far into traffic to look for these things, so that way you wouldn't even need to get into the ABS. Alright, let's end off the video in a traditional JH Motor Club way through the parking garage. Whoa, big backfire going on right there. Got the pops and bangs tuning on the KLX right now. Okay guys, that is going to be the end of the video. One other thing, we hit 800. That means we are only about 200 away from 1,000. Insane. Incredible. Thank you guys for the support. Always gotta make sure you give the respect where it's due, which is to you guys, because without you guys, there wouldn't be a JH Motor Club. So with that, make sure you guys go down there. Make sure you guys stay tuned for a special announcement at 1,000 subscribers. Once again, we are going to try and change the game for the KLX, elevate it to another level. If you guys want to see that happen, make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button, get the bell on, because you guys really are not going to want to miss what is coming for the KLX. I can tell you right now, I'm pretty excited, and you guys should be too. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Let the excitement build for you guys. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, share it to your friends and those who may enjoy it or find it useful. And make sure you go down there, leave your comment on your opinion about ABS. I would very much appreciate it. It's a big factor that is going into the decision for the next build on the channel. And of course, like I said, make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 1,000. You guys are going to be pretty excited for the next announcement on the KLX. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I get that look in my eye, or rather, the sound in my voice when I'm up to trouble. So, but I think that is going to do it for today's video. So, with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.